To those who abuse, the sin is yours, the crime is yours, and the shame is yours. To those who protect the perpetrators, blaming the victims only masks the evil within, making you as guilty as those who abuse. Stand up for the innocent or go down with the rest. Flora Jessop. Good evening, everybody. Sorry you guys didn't see me much this week. My son got sick on Monday, kind of threw my schedule off, then a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyways, we should get back to normal scheduled live streams and things like that this week. Now, before I begin, let me just say this. You'll see that in my description box on YouTube and on Steemit or vim.tv, I've got a donations part, and I added paypal.me. No one's donating to my Bitcoin or Vertcoin cryptocurrency address. So, and you can see I pretty much sent money from my Patreon to get exchanged for Bitcoin so I could send it to what's her name? Susie Dawson. And you can see Susie Dawson's address is there. And of course, no search results in Vertcoin. So I do know there have been people who donated via live chat, and of course, Google gets a big chunk of it. But if you do want to donate, paypal.me/AbonKim, I've added that there. If there is any donations there, I like to work with full disclosure and transparency, and that's why I wanted donations via cryptocurrency, because you've got your blockchain that pretty much shows all the money that's going in and out. But since that's not working, if you do so wish to donate to me, I would really appreciate it. You can disclose your name or not. If you have your name on there, and just send me a message that you don't want to be thanked for it, but I'm going to thank you anyways. So the first video of the month, if there's any money that goes to my paypal.me, I will show that live and say my thank yous. Okay. And one of the things is my current plan for Zoom, which of course I allow anybody on. You can see that in the description box. You can see the join meeting. Anybody who wants to join, but nobody seems to do it, and it's $149.90. So I would like to renew it just because there's just a lot more you can allow on it. With security measures and things like that, and of course you got better visuals. But if not, I'll probably end up using the free version or whatever I can handle. Anyways, I'm trying to get that amount if I can on October 10th, or you may not see me using Zoom or having actual people talk. Will depend on how the free version goes, and I think we're at that point where the free version might have to be it. Okay, so let's start it all off. Authentic Intent, he did, I've subscribed to him. There's a lot of people I subscribe to, even if I don't agree with them, or maybe I don't even like them. I just want to know what's going on, because sometimes people will do live streams and it will be unlisted, and the only time you'll be able to know about it is if you're subscribed. And so that's how I watched this video. I was like, what is this? And of course you can see it's unlisted here. Clearing the air like a vacuum with Karen B. And give it a watch. It's an hour and a half. I'm not going to go and show it. You can go ahead. I may just show snippets of the chat. But basically what it's talking about is someone, I guess, was somewhat outing Joshua Swift, who is Authentic Intent, with having sex with I don't know what you would call it. Oh, just say a 14-year-old girl. And so he has an interview with Karen B where they're clearing the air, And the link is to the law.justdata.com with the cases. He's letting people know about it. Hi, Magazog. Hi, Eagle Inker. And so basically, I like this version better, thelegal.com. You can find the links in the description box. So basically, it's State of Minnesota Respondent versus Joshua Dale Swift, Appellant, Court of Appeals, Minnesota, September 17, 2018. So basically, it says here, Appellant agrees that the evidence is insufficient to support his conviction for third-degree criminal sexual conduct. We affirm. Basically, I'll go ahead and read it out. Facts: in March 2016, SR moved with her mother, stepfather, and siblings to Sartell. SR was 14 years old. She had trouble making friends in Sartell, so she created profiles on social media sites, Tinder, and Plenty of Fish. While she initially thought these sites were just for meeting people and hanging out, she later learned that Tinder was more of a hookup site because Tinder requires users to be at least 18 years old. SR listed her age as 18. She was on Tinder that SR first had contact with Appellant Joshua Dale Swift. The two began communicating through other applications, including Snapchat and TextNow. Swift was 35 years old. The two decided to meet in person on April 6, 2016. This was a school day for SR, who was in 8th grade. SR called her school, pretending to be her mother, and reported she would be out that day. Swift then picked up SR outside a church across the street from SR's home. Swift drove the two of them to his home in Mound. They stopped for coffee and food on the road. When they reached Swift's home, the two talked, watched movies, and kissed. Then Swift drove SR home. She arrived around 2 p.m. before her mother would return from work. The two met 3 more times under similar circumstances on April 11th, 21, and May 2nd, 2016. Each day was a school day, requiring SR to call her school, pretending to be her mother, and excuse herself. During the last meeting on May 2nd, the two went to Minnehaha Falls because it was Swift's birthday, walked around, took photos, and then went to Swift's home where they had sexual intercourse. On May 10th, 2016, flowers from Swift arrived at SR's home. SR's younger sister alerted their mother. SR's mother was concerned about who sent the flowers. SR eventually admitted the flowers were from a man, that she had sex with him. Records of text messages between SR and Swift demonstrate that SR thanked Swift for the flowers, but told him he could not send things like that to her house. Swift indicated the flower company, alerted by SR's mother, called him, and then he asked how old SR really was and stated, "You're only 14 years old. I cannot talk to you anymore. You lied to me." The following day, SR's mother brought her to the police station to report this relationship. An officer interviewed SR, and she identified Swift as the man she had been seeing. The officer asked her about the sexual contact generally, but did not inquire in much detail. SR told the officer she had sexual intercourse with Swift twice on the 2nd and 4th meetings. The officer did not ask SR to complete a sexual assault examination because more than 72 hours since the last alleged sexual encounter had already passed. SR was interviewed again a few days later by a female officer. To that officer, SR reported she had sexual intercourse with Swift on 3 occasions, all of the meetings but the first, but she defined intercourse as a penis in a vagina. SR explained that Swift had performed oral sex on her, but that she had not performed oral sex on him. SR described and drew sketches of Swift's house, including the outside, the living room, and the bedroom. She described a medical device in Swift's room and identified the sheets on his bed as purple. SR said she had only had sex with Swift in his bedroom. A bunch more. So, sexual intercourse, penis and vagina 3 times. That's clear. He sent flowers to her house. Just note that. So he knew where she lived. Now, there are things where I'm not going to know, right? I don't know what she looks like. I don't know how she acts. I don't know what type of, if it was an apartment or a house. I would think it was more of an apartment because, I doubt he ever went inside her place. But if it was nice, just like a house, you got to question, how does a 18-year-old have a house? Apartment, I could kind of guess. But I doubt she let him inside. But I would say he dropped her off, so he knew her address. Now, here's a couple of things. One, first, you're not going to see this video where you're clearing the air like a vacuum on your videos because it's unlisted. Maybe you knew that or you don't. Anyways, that's one. Second, I've seen a couple of your videos where you're talking to a lot of people, and a lot of the time you're talking to people who are at the university. I mean, if you just go lately, I mean, I do know which one. This one? All right. So this is university. You're for at least 2 years since you've been making videos, you've been talking to people about the globe Earth and the flat Earth. You can understand that the lie that's pretty much a lot of people don't see, which is the globe lie. And you talk to girls who are anywhere from 18 to 20 years old pretty much all the time. And you go out to flat Earth, you can kind of understand how they talk, how they look, whatever. And again, I don't know how this 14-year-old girl looked, how she acted, how smart she was, whatever. But you can't, nothing clicked. I mean, not the first time, but the second time or third time, but the fourth time, that, hey, she seems pretty young or not as intelligent. Like, do you talk about her, what college she's going to, what she's studying? I mean, I would think that when you're on Tinder, you meet a girl from Tinder, you're not gonna really send flowers because it's just a hookup site, right? So why are you sending flowers? I don't know. It's just a little weird that there was just nothing that just kind of clicked. I mean, that's just my big thing. It's just that if you just ask questions, just think things through, it's like this guy figured things out, the globe lie, talks with college age students most of the time about flat Earth, know what they look like, how they act, you know, the things that they do, and you got no indication that this girl could maybe not be over the age of 18. So I just find that a little bit hard to believe. So anyways, that out of the way, we're just going to get to I mean, you got a lot of support. And of course, I don't know how, like, do you, like, Globebusters is just in support there, and you got Karen B there. I don't think Karen B's ever even said hi to me. I don't know. She probably doesn't know me. I'm sure she's seen some of my videos. Especially, look, I tackle flat earthers and globe earthers all alike. And mostly it's the flat earthers. I worry more about the people that I agree with, where I disagree with, because I know what they look like, who they are, where they're coming from, and you know, I can see if they're being straightforward or if they're being hypocrites. Of course, we all know that Nathan Oakley is a hypocrite. Arwen, I would say, who's that? Quantum Eraser, I don't even know, John something. Gatekeepers, going back to the Christian religion, which is just another control mechanism. I mean, it's just something you have to watch out for. Just they want you to go back to another control system. Why? It's like, and that's going to be another video. There's going to be another video about the, I don't know. It's kind of like lost course correction in a way. It's like, hey, someone's going out of this control system. Oh, it's all right. We'll just pick them up in the other control system. You know, that's the whole controlled opposition. Take you out of one. If you're falling out of one, oh, come back to another control mechanism. You know, that's how it's set up. Anyway, so Globebusters, Karen B, you see DITRH. Look, we can say as much as we want about these unknown people who have no face, no name, They just have some videos, they whatever they are, it's kind of easy to point out, right? We don't know who they are. But the people we do see, we do know their names. That's a little bit harder because you've got more of a face. You readily trust people who you see, and you have your names associated with them and all of this. So I would say you want to scrutinize these people more, because most of these people are just going to have this mentality of getting people to be on their side, because look, hey, I'm out there, I'm doing stuff. And of course, how they operate behind closed doors, I don't know. I doubt they have a lot of transparency and disclosure. And of course, they just seem to always get around into these little things, which is like, oh yeah, let's put our support behind Joshua Swift. He had sex with a 14-year-old 3 times. He got tricked by a 14-year-old, which we all know 14-year-olds are gonna lie. They're gonna try to get away with things where if they were as an adult. But of course, you're so woke that you can figure things out in the world, but you can't figure out a 14-year-old is lying to you, type of thing. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to point out tonight. I don't really want to go into this thing because it's just a little messed up. So anyone who wants to come and chat for a few minutes, that's fine. Let's look at some of this chat. Zagamog, Zag, okay. Eagle playing the anchor. I saw some of that. Discernment, I don't support globusters. Excuse me. Flat Earth is a mind game. They don't believe the Earth is flat. Maybe not. I don't know. I would say they make a big case for it. And you've got groups that are working together, individuals that work together as a group. They're pretty tight knit, right? It's like, hey, like, I don't know, does Authentic Intent approach Karen B, or did like Karen B approach Authentic Intent and go, hey, Infinite Flat Plane or Tim Osmond with the Z is like has these things that they're talking to you about, and like do you want to clear the air on this? Oh yeah, sure. Or hey, Karen B, can I clear the air on this? Blah blah blah. I don't know how it happens. And then you've got a bunch of people saying that girl needs to do jail time about lying about her age. She's 14. You know how many kids that are under 17 lie about their age to get cigarettes, alcohol, I would say sex. Pretty much every person that's every kid that's under 18, parents are going to have their time with them, I'm pretty sure. But to put the blame on the 14-year-old, where the person who's 35 at the time, 36, because they had sex on his birthday, couldn't figure that out, that she was 14 years old. I mean, you could figure out all these things about the earth and science and math and all this stuff. Oh, but 14-year-old girl, she tricked me. That's the one that got me, the 14-year-old. And everybody out here that's supportive is, if he does like a live stream, like if I said, hey, you're the can I call you like a pedophile because you had sex with a 14-year-old 3 times? I'll bet you I get blocked. I get removed right away. You know what? Hey, they may do that now. I may not get notifications. He's live streaming or videos up because I'm blocked. But who knows? But yeah, it's just all of the stuff. God bless you for standing up to 14-year-old lying. It's just weird. It's just weird. The world has gotten weirder as it is. And it's like people putting their support in just a little bit too easily. That's, you know what, people are going to do that. So that's just a given. But just kind of really think about it a little bit, right? I mean, do you support like the pedophilia that goes on with adults in politics? You're like, oh no, Clinton's and what's his name, uh, pedophilia ring, all that. Oh, they need to go. They need to blah blah blah. And then, but then you'll probably see like, hey, there's all these teenagers who are going there because they see like they get to live, they get to shop a lot of money, they get to go to a private Caribbean island mansion, and but they may even agree to the everything that's going on. Still, same thing. But you're still all right with this. It's like, why? Kathy B. Yes, Swift was 35 at 36. Let me look at the thing. There's definitely a tight-knit group with an agenda. Yes, I do agree with that. Eagle Plane Anchor. Tim Osman, the same person as Infinite Plane. Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I would hazard a guess to that. But that's really it. It's just weird. I keep getting to the point where I don't fit in with any group. I don't. Because people within the group don't like me exposing what people are doing. And it was like, hey, you're lying, you're being a hypocrite, you're doing this, and I'm being attacked for just exposing it. But isn't that what you're here for? You're here for the truth. Yeah, when someone exposes you, you're all on the attack. It's like, hey, you know what? Ebon's right. He is telling the truth. I am lying. I am being a hypocrite. I'm not being straightforward, etc. But guess who gets attacked? Yours truly. And I agree with I agree with his position on the globe Earth lie. I agree with some of his explanations. I think what he's doing when he goes out there and talking to people, I think that's a tremendous thing to do, I guess. Not many people do it. You're gonna get scrutinized for it, that's for sure. But I mean, come on. How can you not figure out a 14-year-old isn't 18 or over? And you got to question just how much can a person like. Good thing that there's so many other people out there that are doing globe Earth is a lie, flat Earth, and you can have someone that you're living with, a roommate. I guess she has a kid, a 4-year-old. I think she's lesbian because he says partner. I don't know for sure, but just to support you, that she finds him safe with the 4-year-old. Of course, we don't know who she really is. We don't know who she is. She could be his sister or someone. We don't know. Just being supportive of him, but at the end of the day, he still had sex with the 14-year-old. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, which sexual intercourse to her meant penis in the vagina, as here stated here. So I don't know if you videotaped the third meetup, Kathy B. But yeah, it's it's such a weird weird scenario, and I think he says sorry, but I don't know if he said sorry to the 14-year-old. I mean, still to blame the 14-year-old for lying, which 14-year-olds are good to do. but you can still apologize to them. Look, yeah, it would be something like, look, I didn't know you were 14. I should have. My fault. I'm sorry. When you're all this that happened, look, kids lie all the time, but you know, I should have figured it out. I figured out the globe lie, that all these control mechanisms, systems out there, they lie. But I couldn't figure you out. Sorry. It just kills me. Do people don't think about that like at all? It's like figured out these people who've been in these, who throw propaganda out there and lies out there day in, day out, high levels of authority, billions of dollars, yet he gets tricked by a 14-year-old with a smartphone or a computer or something like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm done now. No one's coming in. Thank you for joining me, everybody. And I'll see you another day or night, or maybe I may see you again tonight. Who knows? If I have some material up that I'm ready to present in some fashion. Anyways, I'm sure you could go ahead and watch all this stuff if you wanted to. And we'll see you tomorrow. I'll do a fishing video, not like a normal fishing video, but just things related to fishing, because it relates to a lot of things that people don't think about when they're if they don't get into fishing at all. And we'll see if I could get into the control mechanisms part, because there's a lot of fallout. You know, excuse me. There's multiple control systems out there for a reason, and there's controlled opposition for all of them for a reason. And what we see is, yes, I disagree with this control mechanism. That's just definitely a control system, so we gotta get out of that. And you got the controlled opposition here saying, oh yeah, we agree with that, but you know what, this is legitimate, so come over here to this control system, you know, fight against that control system. And then you got this whole duality, polarity again, and basically you're just in another control system, and then you're gonna, until you probably go through the whole roundabout of the 4 or 5 or more control systems that are out there, and you're out of all of them, then what you'll finally realize, yeah, okay, I get it now. But you know, it's gonna happen sooner or later. You're gonna view that George W. Bush. You can fool me once, but fool me again. I can't be fooled again. That guy kills me. All right, have a good night, everyone, and enjoy your time.